Well, happy day after Ash Wednesday, so it must be something Thursday. So happy Lawn Thursday or whatever we'll call it. Anyway, I'm broadcasting from a new part of the house. Uh, I've done this a couple times. This morning, I want to kind of talk briefly about the Holy Guardian Angel and the ideas and conceptions and misconceptions of exactly what the Holy Guardian Angel is, because there's amongst modern 20th and 21st century magicians, there's sort of a crystallized idea of what the Holy Guardian Angel is, rituals and things that you do to get the Holy Guardian Angel. And once you've got the Holy Guardian Angel, how your magical career then proceeds. And of course, the importance of it in the sort of Hermetic magic. The Holy Guardian Angel is the first major goal of the magician, and then the second major goal after that the magician works for is the crossing of the abyss. Now, both of these concepts have their parallels in Hindu and Buddhist and Eastern mysticism. So it's not like they're a different thing than the yogis are talking about or the Buddhists are talking about. It's just this is the way that the Westerners in the 20th and 21st century started talking about it. There are two books that sort of opened up the Holy Guardian Angel can of worms. And the first one was published around 1888 in England by MacGregor Mathers. He was translated by MacGregor Mathers, and I believe Aleister Crowley, a young, white-eyed Aleister Crowley in the Golden Dawn, helped him publish it. And that's the Sacred Magic of Abramelin, the Mage. And it is a grimoire of a very special one of I believe the 1300s. It was originally written in German. And it describes a process that's sort of unlike all the other classic grimoires of the day, the Keys of Solomon and things like that, where they deal with Solomonic magic and the conjuring of spirits, preparations, triangles, circles, a whole list of demons and things like that do stuff for you. It was different than that. As a matter of fact, MacGregor Mathers went to Paris, where what turned out to be a fragment, a French translation of a fragment of the Book of Abramelin, and he translated it into English, and it was enough to just sort of set the world on fire. Because it asks the magician, or it obliges the magician, to do something to himself or herself in order to be worthy to make contact with this very special and personal spiritual entity who once you have made contact and are in constant communication with this entity, then you can act. Then you're holy enough, I guess, to act and exercise the powers of a magician. More than that, you have the wisdom to see what is and is not in your own best magical interests, so that you don't constantly make mistakes with your magical power. It's really a cool concept. And so the whole first part of the Sacred Magic of Abramelin the Mage was just done to get your 12th, 13th century European gross, crazy, superstitious person into a very spiritual, thoughtful, woke individual capable of achieving the wisdom necessary to actually exercise your will in harmony with the universe. In other words, you had to be, in order to exercise godlike powers, you had to be godlike. And that was a big thing. That made it sort of like yoga. It was a quantum leap in Western mysticism. Even that fragmentary translation of Mathers in 1888 with the Sacred Magic of Abramelin the Mage. Well, since then, just in the last 20 years or so, we've had a wonderful translation of the entire text, written or translated directly from German, the whole text in German, to English, and that's been published as the Book of Abramelin, or Abramelin, if you want to call it that. Okay, and the whole text is there, and which is considerably different in a way. Technically, it's very different than the French fragment that MacGregor Mathers translated. Later on, probably in the 1920s, Aleister Crowley sort of grasped what the formula was of the operation, of the Abramelin operation, and said to himself, this is, let's not be superstitious about this. There is a technical formula of preparation that was outlined beautifully in the Book of Abramelin, but if you grasp the formula, you can do it in a more straightforward and simplified way. And that was he did his version of that, and a kind of an extended commentary on that version of the Abramelin operation in a book called Liber Samach. And Liber Samach itself isn't sort of written like a ritual, but a book of instruction on how to compose it, and it is sort of spread out over many pages, and in order to actually put it in a workable ritual, formatted like the pentagram ritual or the lesser ritual or the hexagram or the things like that, which is just straightforward. You can read it like a script and walk through it and learn it, rehearse it, memorize it, and then, okay. Liber Samach, the way Crowley had it laid out, wasn't user-friendly in that way. So I include Liber Samach, Crowley's Liber Samach, in The Magic of Aleister Crowley, here the Handbook of the Rituals of Thelema. But I also do a version where I transform it, I guess, into that script type format where it's more easily memorized and more easily rehearsed. So the reason I'm telling you those two things is because I'm going to mention both of them in these answers to a couple letters that people have written me concerning the Holy Guardian Angel. There's a whole sort of chapter in Ask Babylon just dedicated to letters and my answers to letters people have written me over the years about the Holy Guardian Angel. I'm only going to read a couple of them today. But the idea is that even though Crowley had a great distillation of the Book of Abramelin in his Liber Samach, and that even though the classic formula and the classic tale, the myth, if you will, the legend of the Holy Guardian Angel is awesomely laid out in the Book of Abramelin, still, that's not probably the way it's going to happen for you. And I would wager that of everyone on the planet, that under one circumstance or another has achieved this spiritual experience, has assumed and started working from the platform of this level of consciousness that has been described as knowledge and conversation of the Holy Guardian Angel. I would wager of those people on the planet that have gotten that have gotten there, have never even heard of Abramelin, had never even heard of Aleister Crowley, had never even heard of the Book of Abramelin or Liber Samach, or the term Holy Guardian Angel. It's that universal. That being said, familiarity with the basic formula as outlined and the archetypal myth that's outlined in Abramelin and Liber Samach, once that information, if you will, is implanted in you, in the magician, then when it occurs under circumstances that are probably completely unrelated to a ritual that you put on a robe and get in your temple and do all of that, totally seemingly unrelated to that. And believe me, when you gain knowledge and conversation of the Holy Guardian Angel, it will come in a way that is absolutely not resembling in any way the circumstances as outlined in either of these classic texts. It'll happen totally, unexpectedly, but it will be absolutely everything that's advertised in the Book of Abramelin Liber Samach, in discussions of the Holy Guardian Angel. You'd say, well, a holographic cartoon image of a Holy Guardian Angel with big wings and everything else came, and he kissed me and did all of this. It's not likely to happen like that. But what will happen will be exactly like that. So in other words, it will happen in a way that you totally didn't expect it to happen, and at first probably don't even recognize what's happening when it's happening. And only in the afterglow of you frying in that bliss do you realize that's exactly what Abraham the Jew was talking about, what Abramelin was talking about, what Crowley was talking about. Nothing like you expect in everything that's advertised. Okay, first of all, I don't know if I've got enough light in here today. Somebody wrote me in prison, wrote me from prison, and asked about the Holy Guardian Angel and is it possible to do the Holy Guardian Angel operation while not sequestered alone somewhere with no privacy, all of the inconveniences of being locked up for a while, and asking if all of the Kabbalah gematria, numerological and puzzles and things like that he gets in dreams and is working with 777. Is that the angel talking to him? Things like that, which is not a bad question. But anyway, this is my answer. Good to hear you'll be transitioning out of that place soon, and your focus is on self-transformation. You may be surprised when I tell you that even when the magician is out and free, even when the magician is able to be part of the work of a magical or Masonic group, even though the magician is able to have fellowship with others of similar interests and aspirations, the magician always remains solitary as far as his or her great work is concerned. You'll never be more free to do the real work than you are right now. You'll never be closer to discovering who you are and what it's all about than you are right now. Illumination will never be closer to you than it is right now. So try to see what it is you need to do for yourself right now and do it. It's probably something that seems at first to have nothing to do with the magic or Kabbalah or the gods or angels. Start with little things. They're the biggest obstacles. If you smoke or abuse your body in other ways, stop. You'd like to be able to achieve some level of illumination while you still have 4 parts of your soul. If you've lost your sense of humor, get it back. Start to see the universal joke in things and how the heaviest ahas, that's how they'll be delivered. You seem fixated at the moment on spelling the name and numerical equivalent of this angelic visitor. Have you thought that the big message here is not that you had to somehow crack a code of some Kabbalistic puzzle to get an answer, but that the message was clearly delivered to you, the puzzle is the answer. Shit, yes, your holy guardian angel is a huge personal demon of yours. That's why it's the key to you getting your personal, magical, spiritual, and incarnational shit together. Try hard by not trying so hard. Use the Ruach's Kabbalistic number games to hone your neshama, not drive it. Once you've received your intuitional message, move on. Move forward. For Christ's sake, don't keep picking a word or a number to death with gematria, because it's your own life and sanity you'll be picking to death, not to mention the friends you'll bore to death with your ramblings. The HDA desires union with you infinitely more than you think you want union with it. If you truly realize that you would not need Liber Samach, or books, or orders, or gematria, you would just have to swoon and fall into its arms. It's standing right behind you, right now, and always screaming at you just to wake up a little and back gently into it. You're overthinking the process. Overworking the process. It's the Anahata chakra, for Christ's sake. You need to fall hopelessly in love with the goddamn angel. Have you forgotten how to fall in love? Is that one of the little things you need to work on? If so, I suggest you start right now. You two will make a beautiful couple. And you both will still have a lot to work to do as a team. Hope this has been helpful. Okay. One more. Is the Holy Guardian Angel just me? Dear Babylon, it's been a long time, but many years ago, you and your lovely wife gave me a fantastic dinner after my OTO Minerval degree. Okay. I decided after 12 years I wasn't getting any younger, and the most important thing I should do in this incarnation was slug away at finding my Holy Guardian Angel. Yet Israel Regarde says in his book Ceremonial Magic, almost no one finds this angel. And he does say that. And what if this Holy Guardian Angel is only me, the, quote, me of me's, and that I'm just incarnating personality? Your brother, name withheld. Okay. Dear name withheld. And I quote that beautiful line of his. And what if the Holy Guardian Angel is only me, the me of me's, and I'm just incarnating personality? Here's my answer. My friend, in my martini-damaged brain's opinion, your statement/question is profoundly on the money. We've chosen this body, this mind, this personality, these warts, and these flaws to be the outward expression of the me of me's. It's a game of hide and seek we play with ourselves. Me will win when me gets caught. Then, like loving children or playful lovers, me and me will hug tight and whirl in ecstatic giggles. All of the magic, meditations, and rituals are just clumsy exercises to get to a place where we realize that more than anything else in life, we want to get caught. Love, Babylon. And then finally, have you performed the Abramelin operation? Dear Babylon, I've been meaning to ask you if you've ever performed the Abramelin operation. I know you speak of the Holy Guardian Angel in your class, and you sound like you have more knowledge and conversation than most. Is the Abramelin how you achieved it? And what is your opinion on the age restriction in the Abramelin operation? As now it looks like I won't be able to attempt it until I'm older than is permitted due to family, children, etc. That's part of the Abraham the Jew's don't do it until you're 40 years old and have enough money to not be a burden to your family while you're in that room going bonkers. Let's see. Okay. I'm thinking that the requirement is mainly because back when the book was written, people of that age were considered ancient and were often infirm and could not physically carry on for the prescribed time. That is no longer the case. Thoughts? Okay. Here's my quick answer. No. I haven't done the Abramelin operation per se. As far as knowledge and conversation of my Holy Guardian Angel goes, I've certainly not experienced anything like what is described in the Abramelin text. If I'm a 5=6 on the Tree of Life, I've achieved it some other way, and it is manifesting in my life in such a way as to be unrecognizable in Abramelin terms. Don't look at the Book of Abramelin as a recipe book. The procedure, as described, lays out a basic formula for a successful operation. It's not unlike other techniques used by devotional aspirants of all cultures and religions. Don't worry so much about the details, but try to grasp the general formula. Arrange your life in such a way as to make yourself worthy to become who you really are. And that's my Pazuzu Thursday discussion of the Holy Guardian Angel. And now the house is freezing. I'm going to turn that little heater on here and try to warm up for the rest of the day. So until tomorrow, which is Fur Friday or something, continue to be good to yourself. Be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will.